You're right everyone, it's your boy Ben and I'm back with another boxing video. This is part 2 to my previous video, which is why Ibeabuchi will beat Lennox Lewis in 1997. I came to the conclusion on the last video I was basically an autodidact and did my own research. Me and Ike didn't have any previous discussions about whether Lennox Lewis would have fought him in 1997 or not. His response to it was quite incredible. So the two topics in today's video is Ike's response and the possible matchups leading up to July 2025. So the message that Ike sent back a few hours later after the video was made read, "Dr. Wilson, your dissertation was indeed great and real. Just to confirm, this would have been that in late July 1999, Cedric Kushner, my then promoter, invited me to Las Vegas to attend a unification match between Danny Romero and Johnny Tapia at the Thomas and Mack Center. This event was so memorable because as we were at Caesar's Palace, Mr. Kushner asked me if I would fight Lennox Lewis and I replied, yes I will. He called Lennox Lewis's camp right there and then and asked, as I overheard the dialogue, whether Lennox Lewis would fight me, and he said no. Mr. Kushner looked at me and shook his head and said Lewis said no. After that encounter I was in disbelief and my stock started to plunge down a month later. It also correlated to blame my record-setting performance against Tua for Lewis's refusal. And as you mentioned in your analysis, he was Henry Akinwande to Lewis's defence of the World Boxing Council WBC Heavyweight Championship title. Now I would have been the interim champion with the World Boxing Council WBC International Heavyweight Championship title to mandate the matchup. Therefore, sir, you were accurate to the pinpoint time when the both of us would have collided instead of Akinwande. Further, after March 20th, 1999, although I issued an open challenge to Lewis or Holyfield for whoever may be the unified champion, unfortunately, by the time that unification occurred, I had been arrested in Las Vegas. Accordingly, I would have fought Lewis again as the most deserving of the heavyweight title match Ring Magazine July-August 1998 edition. The magazine linear championship title, to the time I were arrested, had me ranked below Holyfield, who was number 2 with IBF and WBA titles, and Lewis at number 1 with WBC and IBO. So it is axiomatic that I would have fought Lewis after his win against Holyfield. This rationale it compares to Usyk and Fury. Now, the question at this point in time is if the rematch on December the 21st, 2024 may be my redeeming for the lost fight and boxing history of the late 90s in Ike the President Ibeabuchi. I am ready to step back in the ring to prove my mettle once again, and I will hope it will be successful this time. Thank you and God bless. So it's fair to say my depiction was accurate to the pinpoint date. If you haven't already gone and seen the video, I'll put a link to it right here. Moving on, following the previous video that I made, Ike gave me an exciting new opportunity. Dear Ben, I have a friend who is willing to pay a promotional package for some fights. As you are aware that so many fights exist for me to get the title shot, on which he is proposing to be inherent in June or July of 2025. According to him, I should name a list of boxers that I am willing to fight so that it's progressive to my aim for the mandatory challenge for a world title. On the message next to it then says, I'm curious to see your list to pass it on to the investor. So I've split it up into 3 sections. I've got early tune-up fights, notes, a surprise hype-up match, and climbing the ladder from 25 to 1. We'll start with the early tune-up fights. I believe in beating some of these guys could help bolster Ike's credibility. Some of them are relative of age and have good records. These fights are mainly put in place to help Ike get better opportunity. So after Ike's proving his credibility, we're getting on to climbing the ladder. We've got Evgeny, Ortiz, Gassiev and then Michael Hunter. Beating Luis Ortiz, Michael Hunter will definitely get Ike's name out there. 33 is still a young, active age, not quite in the 20s but still dangerous. Fighting some of these guys will prove that Ike can go against the younger, more fresh opponents. So that's the full list guys, not to mention the hype matchup with George Foreman's son, who is also undefeated with 17 KOs out of 18 wins. Tell me what you think of Ike's response and tell me what you think about these matchups that I've drawn up. If any fighters come to your mind personally, put it in the comments. If you want to keep up with Ike's journey, like, follow, subscribe, and let's all rally behind Ike's return. Thank you for watching everyone and God bless.